Now is the time to leave the microphone, to leave the floor to Dr. Marco Castellazzi. He is an author and TV program conductor. He's also our friend. And so today is going to speak about effective communication of science.
Have you already done a presentation or a pitch? Who has already done it? Nobody? Who don't? Have you already listened to a presentation or a pitch? Who don't? Now you will, because I'm starting mine. So, let's talk about visual in presentation. How many times have you seen visual like this one or this one? You can't understand anything. You can't also reading because the contrast is not good. Or this one, childish, ridiculous. Your information will not be taken seriously if you write like this. This is incomprehensible, absolutely. All these kind of slides, they are not good for a really effective communication. Now, I will give you some suggestions. I work for the Italian national TV, and we run a daily program. Maybe some of you knows it. His name is Geo from Raitre. And it's 20 years that we run this program, and we learned something that I want to share with you. First, when you use a slide, one subject. If I want to talk about drinkable water, I will not use a slide like this one. This is all around water. But if I want to talk about drinkable water, I want that you are focused on me, not on what is on the slide. This is clear like the drinkable water. And this gives you an idea of a subconscious idea of clear and good. If I use this slide, you start reading. You're not looking at me. You're reading. And your way of reading is faster than I'm speaking. I'm speaking also slowly so everybody can understand my bad English. But reading and listening is not possible. John Medina is a developmental researcher at Seattle Pacific University. He said that it's impossible to read. He conducts some experiments. It's impossible to read and to understand in the same way. Or you read or you listen. Now, if I ask you, how much is the surface water? Just one, raise your hand, please. How much is surface water? How much is? 0.3. You. Where is from John Medina? Which university? John Medina. Which university is from? No, no, you can suggest it, please. Because if you were right, 0.3 is the correct percent, but you weren't able to tell me where John Medina is from. Because or you listen, or you or you write, or you read. Is okay? We think to be multitasking, but we aren't. Science told us that we are not multitasking. We take some pieces of what we listen and some pieces of what we read, and then put it together, but we have a loss of information always. So, if I want to have an effective communication, this is one slide, one subject. But if I want to reinforce this concept, I will use an image. You feel the evocative power of the image is stronger. It fixes in your mind. One image, it's better than 1,000 words. You feel the smoke in your nostrils with this image. If I want to talk about pollution, I can present it like this, or I can use an image. You can feel the fog, the smoke in your lung. Remember that just 10% of what we hear remains in our brain. It is reinforced if we use some images, because our brain creates a connection. You know the ancient Chinese philosopher Confucius. I saw it also in the hall, in one of your posters. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand, but this is another story, and let's talk about it in another time. Let's see some suggestion. My are suggestions. It's not the real true. It's true, but you have to adapt it every time you have to do a presentation. This is not a good slide. It's small. The claim is not nice to understand. This, if we use slides like this one, Houston, we have a problem, because these slides distract me from the topic. This is not nice. I can't read the claim because it's not well contrasted. This is not aligned. Maybe this is better, but why the black bar at the side? They're ugly, they're not nice. So I enlarge it, but it loses focus, lose definition. And also, you can be stingy, and you don't want also to pay royalties, a few cents of royalties to get an image. In Italy, we say short arm. You don't want to spend money. This is a nice slide. A claim, well contrasted, few words, and the image that give me the idea. Let's see what is the difference between presentation and a document. A presentation has to arise emotion, interest, action. Remember that emotion fixes memories. I teach at Politecnico of the Marche in Italy, in Ancona, and also I teach to teachers and professors and researchers. And I also say to them, you don't remember the topic from the abstract of your field work that you read last week, but you remember very, very well the name of the small girl, of the small boy. You kissed each other 30 years ago in your university lab, because memory fixes information. The document is something different from a presentation. It has to examine in depth, it helps to complete the information, and it lasts. Presentations are designed to be presented, documents are designed to be delivered. If you put together a presentation or a document, you make a mess. And this is a slide document, slide and document. And you are still reading at it and not looking at me. And you don't understand anything about it. Okay? This is for presentation and not for a poster. A poster, you have your time to read it and everything. But this is too much information. Why all these countries? If I want to tell that Japanese are less obese than others, I just use few information. Less information, more memorable. And look at the finesse, the orange salmon, orange like the bar. If you use too much word in a slide, no one word will fix in your memory. This is 75 word slide, you are still reading, not looking at me. 50 words, too much. This is still a document. For document there is word. Also, in some presentation, in a lot of presentation, you see bullet points. Now, bullet points are good for teaching because they are they fixed the idea, the topics, but they are not for good for presentation because you are still reading. The same concept, I can explain it with an image. And if I use some image that can hit our attention, and usually in television we use it very well. Sex, money, health. They are good for everybody. Template. Try to avoid template. Template, every slide is the same of previous. For example, this is a good template. It's nicer than this one. It's okay. But your presentation will be similar to a lot of other blogs like Shark and some information about blogs. If I use this image hit you very, very much more than the other. And now your attention is drawn on me, and I can look at you and say that a shark must keep moving because if not moving, it dies. This is not true. I'm a marine biologist, and I assure you there are a lot of sharks that can breathe very easy without swimming, but a lot of people believe that. So a blog must keep updated or dies like a shark. How often a blog has to be updated and so on. Pay attention about contrast. I know this could be banal. This could be very simple and everybody can say, okay, you know, I have to use the contrast. But I saw a lot of presentation where you can read what is presented. Sometimes you see slides like this one. This one, you can't read what she is presented. It's better to use a good contrast and maybe text shadow. Text shadow is very good to enhance what you want to show. Text position. Now we have a very nice hall and everybody see it, but sometimes people from the back sides can't read what is placed down. And this is an error that occurs very, very times. Dimension, small text isn't readable. Big dimension text back there. Don't use italic. Italics is not a good text. It's not a good font for slides. Big dimension. Better if you use capital letters. And also if you use less text. Summary, recap, less letter, more memorable. You have to hit big. You have to be vivid. You have to hit the attention of people. Remember, when you use font has a hierarchy. So less important, small fonts. Big, more important, big fonts. Pay attention to background. Background introduces a background noise. It can disturb your text. PowerPoint, this is marble, several colors. Solid color also is the best. And with white, you're never wrong. This is the best contrast and more elegant. Pay attention, don't use serif fonts. Serif is, you see the red circles. In the red circle, there are some appendix of the letter. This is used when you read. When you read, serif bound letters together, and so it's easier, it's smoother when you read. But it's not good for slide. It's better to use sans serif fonts. Arial, Calibri, Verdana, and so on. And use a limited number of fonts, because this also is a font of distraction. If you want to use this font is good when you have to make a clown party or for a kid party, but it's not taken seriously. I like Helvetica. Helvetica is very good, and it's not just me that like Helvetica. One guy called Steve Jobs used it for your smartphone, for example, and it's good for different topics. You can find a lot of fonts for free in different free sites. There are a lot of them. And this is the font, this is Font Squirrel, there are a lot of them. Try it and try to use it thinking they are for a presentation and not for a document. Colors. Colors are very important. This is a powerful image. This is more powerful. But colors are bound to meanings. Please, I ask it not to Arabic-speaking people. What's the meaning of this signal? This signal, if it's green, we don't understand what is it. If I make it red, I can guess it could be a stop signal. Because red means stop, alert, don't use it, and so on. Green suggests us, okay, go, clear, circular economy. Red, we already saw what does it mean. Orange, now we see all this color works on our subconscious. We don't understand why, but they works. Blue, trust, loyalty. Orange, learning and fun. Red, intention. Quick decision. Pay attention of the meaning. Bound to culture. White, for example, black. In Italy, we use it for funeral. In Western society, funeral or death. Death in India is white, for example. So pay attention of the meaning of colors. Use a limited number of colors, or you have to go with clowns. Remember, just one color is more readable than a lot of colors. This word is enhanced because it's just one. If you use several colors, it melts with the other one. This is a presentation, one principal color, one secondary color, one contrast color. And during the presentation, we use only these three colors. You can find on the internet some help. This is Cooler, is free from Adobe, and it helps you to find complementary colors, for example, or analogous color if you want to use a presentation. But you see here 5 colors. 5 are too much. Or if you want to make and feeling, and maybe the feeling that came from a picture or a moment you lived, you can take one of your picture, put it in Cooler, and then spot, design which kind of colors can be right for your presentation. There are a lot of websites for free also. And pay attention to the relationship between images and text. This is a presentation text. I know that you are still reading, but tell me, what the hell a fish is doing there? Why the fish? Maybe this guy likes fish. I'm a marine biologist and I like fish, but this fish is not related to anything. If I make this statement, it will arrive you very much better if I use an image. Pay attention, not too much text. I can say the same things with 3 words. And if you want to use a picture, make it without contour, like this. This is better, it's more melted to the picture. And also 20% mortality reduction. Then this is the core information. Then you listen to me and I can explain all details. But don't use too much text. Pay attention to contrast very well to the background. You can't read it, this claim. So use a frame. Or use a way to keep the image powerful and also to enhance what is your text. Put the text here, not down here. Nobody will read it. and the image have to suggest the meaning in very few seconds. Here I can immediately understand that iPod is available in different colors. Then I will explain you all the details, but the powerful of image must be respected. Also, there is something that we will see a little bit later, is the composition. And pay attention of the composition of image. Remember, you don't have to feel all the image. Excuse me? You don't have to feel all the image. This is a mess. You lose the information. This is very much better. Remember, 90% of creative process is destructive. Remove, 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 and leave only the essential. In fact, the most wide engine of research presented itself like this. In this one, another search engine, I can be distracted from all this information. I was looking for something, but I see this man with a towel on his head, and I'm asking to myself, why this towel? And I forget what I was looking for. Let's see about something, tips about composition. This picture is banal, is ordinary. You see the horizon line exactly in the middle and the platform exactly in the center. And is usually the way in which we take pictures. Look at this one. This is much better. The horizon is on the lower third, and the platform is moved from the center. So I can put my text, and my text will be more effective. This is the third rule. You have to divide the two sides in thirds, and the intersection you will put what is your topic, what is your subject. It will work very much better. In fact, the previous image respect this rule. Here there are some other ideas, and you see all the subjects are in the same position. Our eye is trained by century of arts that was using this rule. We don't know exactly why, but our brain works like this. The horizon, it's better low if I want to enhance the sky. Also, this kid, it's better if I put aside. But this kid, because he is moving, if I put aside in this way, he will go out of my picture. So it's better to leave room in front of a moving subject. This is very much better. One more thing. You know the dialogue concerning the two shift world systems from Galileo, and I want to remember who Galileo was. If I use this picture, it's better than this one. You know? Is inside the picture. But look at this one. Galileo is looking at the claim. Now, all these studies came from psychologists and from people that work in marketing. They make some important and curious studies. Look at this. This is the same advertisement. The only difference is the eye of the girl. With Photoshop, in the second one, the eye look at the product. In the first, the guy look at you. The girl look at you. They traced the able of the people looking at the picture, and the red are people that look more. The green is people that look less. You see that the attention is drawn where the girl look at. Think about it. When you go in a square or when you go strolling around in a road, for example, and you see people looking at something, you immediately look at where people is looking at. This is an ancient memory of us, that we are mammals. When we were, you look at the herd of the zebra or a gazelle in the savannah. If one gazelle or a zebra immediately spot a predator, all the herd look at there. This is our unconscious. If we see somebody look at something, we look at it. And if you want to put people inside as an image, please remember that it will work very, very much better if the subject look at the claim. So, not use this kind of picture, but this is very better. We could talk about a lot of things about body language, for example, or storytelling, because stories are a way to transmit data, so working on emotion. We could talk a lot of other things about communication, and these things that I show you are about just using visual in presentation. If you want to use visual in posters, it's different. If you want to use visual in document, it's different. But remember, a good set of slides won't magically make your talk great. But your talk can be badly hurt by bad slides. So pay attention when you use slides. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marco.